Motel here from the Toy Talk Guys podcast. If you're a longtime listener, I love you. And if you're not, and you're still here, welcome. So Strick and I have a podcast that is dropping very soon, and unfortunately it was recorded before all of this delicious Power Ranger news started coming out of the 2025 New York Toy Fair. So I wanted to make sure I documented all of my comprehensive thoughts and feelings on what we're seeing right now, because I know emotions are running high in the fan base. So without further ado, let's take a look at some of the products that are slated to be offered later this year and 2026. I'd like to take a moment and just address the elephant in the room. I mean, the Rose Art Power Rangers Figure Maker 2. Come on. Some of you out there are probably like, whoa, there was a sequel? Yep. What a flex. Have that there just in case anybody was questioning my loyalty to this fandom. Because you know that's not a piece that some filthy casual owns. Alright, so first up, we got to talk about these flip heads. I mean, gross, right? Ugh. Yuck. Ugh. Can you believe it? They're doing flip heads. Ugh. Psych. This is fantastic. I can't believe the amount of people in this fan base that are getting so bent out of shape about this stuff. Playmates made it very clear that this line is directed towards kids, and I know that's being said exactly 1 trillion times on the internet per hour from this fan base, but that's what it is, man. It's a kids line, so these are what you get. I mean, there's people out there that are saying, well, you know, Hasbro put out the flip heads already. And I'm like, wasn't that like 2 years ago already or something? I mean, it feels like forever since they've been out. And even still, it's like, I don't think that's a good reason to get all upset about it. It's like, you know, new fans of Power Rangers are coming into existence every day. So maybe there was somebody who is now a Power Rangers fan that is looking back and they, you know, didn't have that opportunity to pick those up. So this is a good opportunity to pick these up. And yeah, I'll say it, the weapons look good. I mean, you're getting paint apps on the weapons. And it's like, and these figures, they're trying to be like $10 figures, right? I mean, that's really good considering what you're getting here and the state of the toy aisles as far as prices are concerned now. I think that's a really good deal, what you're getting. Do the figures look amazing? I mean, you could probably look up 100 videos on YouTube right now and they'll all say the same thing. No, they're not. They don't look fantastic. But, you know, I can't wrap my head around why people are getting so upset about this. It's like everybody's freaking out that Hasbro essentially killed this franchise, and yet Playmates is like trying to get something working here, and everybody's just like, oh, yuck, boo, ugh. Look at this. Oh my gosh. Mighty Morphin again. Just like, dude, I mean, like, what would make you happy? Like, them finishing the Lightspeed Rescue Team? I mean, I'm sure that'd make some of you happy, but I'm sure not the general population. So while we're on the subject of these figures, let's talk about the other set of figures that you get, and just, it looks like a basic set of just articulated figures, similar to the Action Hero series that Bandai put out late in the game. These don't offend me either. You know, if you want another set of Mighty Morphin figures, they look like a totally basic and affordable set. I am not mad at these. You know, the weapons all have paint apps on them, just like the, like the Legacy Collection did back in the day. So that's cool that you're getting all that. And again, I feel like I need to repeat myself, but this is directed towards kids. So I know not all of you in this fan base are parents. I am a new parent. I've got 2 young boys, one about to turn 4 and one that is close to being 2. My 4-year-old loves Power Rangers, and I am just super excited to go to a Walmart or a Target with him, and we can pick out a Power Ranger toy like this. So, I mean, that's what it's all about for me right now. You know, what he's into. And, you know, I already have enough Power Ranger toys. I'm good. But this is something that'll be fun for me and my boys to collect together. So none of this stuff offends me. If you're looking for a video that somebody's going to be complaining about all this stuff, look elsewhere. And people are like, well, there's no show to sell these toys. Like, kids aren't watching this. It's a 30-year-old property. I get that. That's a valid point. But, I mean, you're watching this video. If you have kids, I'm sure you're going to want to share it with them as well. And I'm not trying to be controversial, but let's be real. Anybody that's complaining about this stuff, you're still going to buy it. Because at the end of the day, that's what Power Ranger collectors do. We buy the toys that get put out. Up next, we do have the battle bikes. I was never, ever a fan of the battle bikes. As a young boy playing with these toys, I never once had the urge to pick up a battle bike. That might be because they were never in the show, or they were in the show for like, what, 10 seconds or something. But, I mean, I never was attracted to them. So, and that is still the same feeling I have 30 years later. It's cool that they have like an exclusive figure that comes with each. It is unfortunate that it looks like the yellow and pink Rangers are not included. So that is something negative I will say about these. Otherwise, it's nice to see them. There's a lot of people out there complaining about this weird action feature that they have on here where it's like the Ranger kind of gets like catapulted or like jettisoned off the motorcycle and it knocks into a villain. It's a weird action feature. Yeah, I don't know what else to say other than it's awkward. I guess it would be fun if like an aunt gave this to me for my birthday because she knew I was into Power Rangers. I mean, I'd play with it, but this is not something that I would seek out as a kid or as an adult collector. So, but it is nice to see them. I mean, when's the last time we got a Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Dino battle bike? So there you go. We also got a larger scale Megazord. What is it, like 15 inches or something? Does not transform. It's just a standalone figure. Not super exciting, but I'm sure if I gifted this to my 4-year-old, he would be absolutely ecstatic. And you also have the proper combining Megazord. Looks like they are selling all 5 Zords separately. It is at a higher price point. I think they said it was like $18 or something like that. So that's kind of expensive. Not really sure how to feel about that. I really don't like that they are selling them separately. Hasbro did that. I thought that was kind of foolish. Actually, now I'm thinking about it, Hasbro didn't do that. They sold them in like double packs or something like that from what I remember. This is a little more egregious than that was. But when you combine them all, I mean, it looks like the Dino Megazord. I know there's a whole bunch of adult collectors out there that are picking this thing apart because it is not up to par. So I get where people are coming from, but also, you know, it's for kids. I'm thinking, yeah, my 4-year-old would play with that all day. And here we go. One of the things I am most excited to see here, the Evil Space Alien lineup. This is very, very exciting. So Playmates is putting out Rita and her original crew, minus Finster. Hopefully he will come at a later date. But King Sphinx is there alongside the generals. So you got Rita, Goldar, Babu, Squats, a Putty Patroller, and then King Sphinx. So a great starting lineup. And I know there's people out there that have complaints about these, but I mean, aren't these are 5-inch scale, right? I mean, aren't these going to look great with like your legacy figures, your action hero legacy figures? I mean, it remains to be seen. But I mean, I'm very encouraged about what's going on here with these. Looking forward to picking every single one of these up. And we also have some other stuff slated for release that doesn't really excite me all that much. But we've got some masks of all 6 original Rangers and some plushies of the original Rangers to snuggle up to and hold and hug tight because we didn't get Lightning Collection-esque figures here. And then also I know people are being very critical of the roleplay items that are being offered, but I mean, they look fine. I am not much of a roleplay weapons kind of person. And perfectly honest with you, I'm not much of a Zord collector either, but none of this here offends me. The other offering, I'm seeing the little PVC figures that are reminiscent of the original line. Man, I am very stoked to see these. Never would I have guessed that these would be slated for release. I mean, I'm very encouraged and enthusiastic about what's going on here with these. So now I guess we need to discuss the biggest news coming out of this panel, I guess, is the re-release of the original figures, the original 5 Mighty Morphin figures, or is it 6? I don't know if Tommy's there. But I think that's what's gotten all of the older collectors all antsy in their pantsy about what's going on here. And I can't really blame them. From what I'm seeing here, these look really nice. They look totally true to vintage form. I remember playing with these back in the day so much and so hard. My original ones were all beat up, scratched up. They all got yellowed just because, I was playing with them so hard as a kid. So I could be wrong. Did they say a price for these? I don't know what these are yet, but hopefully they're not breaking the bank, which it sounds like in general Playmates is trying not to do that. So if they're at a good price points, then I think these will do very well. So Playmates definitely appears to have gone above and beyond on this one. I'm sure there are fans that will be reserved in their judgment until they have these in hand, but as of this moment, I'm sure the fan base as a whole will come together and agree with me on this. Just final thoughts. I, in general, am excited about this. It is an exciting time. I know there's a ton of people out there that are just thinking that this is kind of a hum-ho affair. I get it. Playmates is definitely directed this towards kids, and I understand that Mighty Morphin doesn't have that same commanding presence in toy aisles as it did back in the day, because there's no explosive show on TV that all the kids are talking about at school. I get it. But hopefully, and I'm talking to a lot of my fellow parents out there, but hopefully if your kids enjoy watching Power Rangers with you, hopefully this is something that you guys can collect together. These offerings, I'm sure, are not the last offerings. I'm sure Playmates will not be the last company to take a stab at Power Rangers figures, but I've said it many times on the podcast before. I'm the kind of collector that likes to collect toys, not so much collectibles. My style is vintage. I like collecting, I guess, quote-unquote, survivors. I like things that were once appreciated in a way where they were played with, and now they've survived, and they can be put on a shelf and retired and admired. That's my style. The fact that this is all geared towards kids, and I know that my kids are going to be crazy about this stuff, that's all I'm looking for currently. I've got enough Power Ranger stuff for myself to be happy for a long time. And a lot of this stuff is not only going to keep me happy in a way where I'm enjoying it with just my kid, but a lot of those villain figures, the PVC figures, that stuff's got me excited. I am looking forward to what this line has to offer, and I think it's going to be a good year. I do. I know a lot of people are poo-pooing all over this and saying it's going to fail, and I know there's a lot of people out there that I'm sure want this to fail, but I feel good about it, and I will champion this until I have these in hand and feel otherwise. If you guys stay for the whole thing, totally appreciate you. Maybe once I have these in hand, I'll make another video concerning this stuff and give you my thoughts then. But until then, please check out the Toy Talk Guys podcast, and I will see you in the next one.